Welcome to the I Teach TV network. It's Katie Shea hanging out talking about flexible seating, and I'm doing a Q&A session tonight. I'm going to start just by chatting about a few things, and then I'm going to give the room to you guys, and you guys can totally ask a million questions, and I will do my best to answer. Thank you so much for coming in the room, guys. I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, already 50 people. Oh, 49 people in the room. I'm so excited for everyone to be here. Okay. So I just wanted to introduce myself really quick, do a little bit of housekeeping, and then we are going to get right to work because we have a lot to talk about. Last time my scope went over by like 10 minutes. Everyone was so excited about flexible seating. So I want to make sure that I get all of your questions answered. I've been doing flexible seating for a year now in kindergarten, and I absolutely love it. So I just want to start really quick. I'm Katie Schaefer. I teach kindergarten. I've been teaching for 4 years, and I've been periscoping on the I Teach TV network since we started back in the fall. So I'm so glad you guys are all here with me tonight. Okay, make sure you guys check out on Facebook our I Teach TV network group. Go ahead and go over there and like us on Facebook. We would love it if you would join us. Australia, oh my goodness. I'm so excited that you're in here, Jen. Okay, so I just want to get started. Last week I did a Periscope for the I Teach TV network about flexible seating, and I talked about my whole classroom setup, what I have in my classroom, and it was absolutely amazing. People loved it, and and it was absolutely perfect. So I just want to show you a few things about how I got started on flexible seating, and then I'm going to get right into showing you a few pictures of my classroom, and I'm even going to show you my, oh my goodness. Okay, I'm even going to show you my Amazon wish list because last week I taught you guys how to make an Amazon wish list, and I'm going to show you mine, and yes, people are creepy tonight. What in the world? I'm going to show you my wish list, and I'm going to give you a bit.ly link so you can go and check it out. Okay, how I got started on flexible seating, right here. Kayla Delzer, right there from Top Dog Teaching. She wrote this article for EdSurge, and it is absolutely amazing. You guys have to check it out. So her and Kindergarten Smorgasbord totally changed my view on flexible seating and what your classroom should look like. So if you want to take a screenshot, I'm going to hold the screen really still now, and you guys can take a screenshot of this. Her name is Kayla Delzer. She runs the blog Top Dog Teaching, and she is absolutely amazing. She is a fabulous teacher. Go check her out. She's on Instagram. She's on all the social media, so you can go check her out. Her name is Kayla Delzer. She wrote this amazing article on EdSurge. Okay, so I feel like you guys, oh my goodness, I feel like you guys have gotten a screenshot. And I am going to turn this. Okay, so questions from you guys. I have a few slides prepared, but I want to get some questions before I jump into my slides. I want to show you how I got my classroom totally changed. I use Donors Choose. Okay, do your kids stay in one spot for the whole day, or do they move around throughout the day? Okay, so because I teach kindergarten, I allow my students to move throughout the day. We are constantly coming back to the carpet and then going back out for independent work. I do not make them pick one seat for the whole day. I feel like that kind of wastes the whole idea of being able to choose where you're gonna sit for that particular part of the day, because you might like to read to self in one area and you might like to write in a different area. So the whole idea of flexible seating is to be comfortable and be able to engage the best that you can in your work. So you don't want to be kind of like stuck in one type of seating all day long. I totally got rid of a ton of the chairs in my classroom, and I got rid of a bunch of tables. I think I only have like 3 tables left. Three tables left. Oh, no, that's a joke. Four tables left in my classroom, plus my guided reading table in the back. So, okay, seating suggestions for 5th graders. Actually, I was just in a 4th grade classroom in my school I'm going to address that question in a minute about testing. Okay, I was just in a 4th grade classroom in my school just the other day, and they have their classroom set up similarly to mine. You got to get the kids used to this change in seating, just like you kind of have to get used to the different management it's going to take to employ that seating in your classroom. So I'm going to show you quickly a picture of my classroom, and then I promise you this is pretty much what like the 5th grade classroom looked like too. If you've got desks instead of tables, exercise balls work perfectly under there. How do you pick who picks their spot first? I usually just dismiss them from the carpet, just like girls first, then boys, or if you're wearing pink or if you're wearing blue. Exactly. The novelty wears off about the spots, except I will tell you in my kindergarten classroom, the exercise balls, everybody wants the exercise ball every single time. So that one is definitely a hot spot every time. But I will tell you that I always have the power to change where a child is sitting. So if they're not focused and they're not doing what they need to do, then I always reserve the right to change their seating. Okay, that question about testing. There is a 3rd grade classroom in my school, and she has done flexible seating, and unfortunately for testing, for statewide testing, they have to put the chairs back in the room so that everyone has the same testing environment, I guess, in all classrooms. So, a seating contract on Pinterest. That's a good idea. For my classroom, I just made an anchor chart for each type of seating. So I'll show you really quick. I'll show you how, I know, crazy testing rules. I think she just didn't want to get in trouble, and every other 3rd grade classroom didn't have flexible seating, so she was just going to bring this chairs back in that day, which that totally goes against like all thought processes of, you know, like where you study, where you work, that's the same place as where you should test because your environment should be the same. Totally goes against all of that. But okay, let me show you this slide that I made really quick. Boost flexible seating to my classroom. So this is actually us teaching a 1st grade classroom, but we did it the same way in kindergarten as we do or as I did for a 1st grade classroom. So these are the core wobble stools that we use in my classroom, and we were just teaching the 1st grade class, but we actually made anchor charts and we hung them up. So it's a good reminder for the kids as to what they're supposed to act like, what they're supposed to look like, what they're supposed to sound like in every chair, and how far they can really wobble. Okay, so as I said earlier, I got this project donated. Actually, Google funded me. Google funded me through Donors Choose. So it was pretty awesome. They funded a ton of projects in North Carolina, and my project got funded. Is there any danger of kids falling off the wobble stools? No, because honestly, I can count on like one hand how many times the kids have fallen off the stools all year. Really, it's not a lot. So, okay, so I'm going to turn my phone sideways, and I'm going to ask that you guys do the same thing. That way you guys can see what I see on my screen. I realized I forgot to say that last week. When I was watching my replay, I was like, oh goodness, I should have told them to turn the screen. So if you turn your screen, you can see http://bit.ly/archived D C. That is my archived Donors Choose project for flexible seating if you want to look at it. Those are all the things I got in the first round of flexible seating in my classroom. So if you want to take a screenshot, go for it, and you can go to that bit.ly link and you can check out my previous Donors Choose project that got funded by Google. So take a screenshot. I'm going to hold this here for a few more seconds. If my kids sit too front to the edge of the wobble stool, yeah, they'll fall, but for the most part, I promise you, they really do not fall out of these things. Okay, so I see a few people took pictures. Excellent. Go to that bit.ly link and check it out. Check it out. Okay, I'm going to turn you around. Yes, those, I'm going to show you. Okay, hold on one second. Let me change. Okay, so here's another slide I made today. If you turn your phone sideways like I am right now, then you can see this amazing slide that I made. This is my entire classroom. So can you guys see that very well? I can see it pretty good on my screen, but I don't know if you guys can see it. So this is my classroom. Sorry, I missed part of that conversation. Just applied for Donors Choose. Excellent. Check with your county before you write a Donors Choose project. My county, I have to like check it by the grants office before I actually write the Donors Choose project. Yeah, my classroom is pretty humongous, but I did use like the landscape picture, like I took a picture from one side to the other side of my room. So in my classroom, I have beanbag chairs, I have bath mats, I have wobble discs. The wobble discs are right here. See that blue thing? I don't know if you can see it very good. Ooh, that's better. That blue disc right there, that's what I call a wobble disc. And this table is like really, really low to the ground. So the kids really love to sit like that. There's my bean bags, and these are those core wobble discs or wobble chairs. I don't know what you want to call them. Those are the exercise balls that have the stability legs on them. And then I love this over here, and the kids do too. It's like a mini toddler size couch. Okay, so I saw a few of you guys took pictures. If you go to this bit.ly link, this is a new bit.ly link. bit.ly/Schaefer wishlist. That is my Amazon wishlist, people. That is my Amazon wishlist that I created that has some stuff of my own, like bean bags, the beanbag filler if you were here last week. And it has amazing things on it that I would want to add to my classroom, like the bicycle that you can put like underneath the chairs. It's awesome. Absolutely awesome. Okay, so that's I think all I have to share with you guys about my classroom. If you want, okay, one more second. I'm going to hold this if you want to take a screenshot. Do your link talk more about logistics of passing out supplies? Okay, no, that link straight up goes to Amazon. So it's just going to go to my wish list. Okay, but here's the thing about logistics of passing out supplies. Do you see, oh, you can't really see it in this picture, but okay, so there's over here, there are like those 3-drawer plastic bins. And then on the other side of the 3-drawer plastic bins right here is like a little shelving unit. And I have those metal tins from Target, and I use those for all the kids who are working on the floor. So the kids who work on the floor get like one of those metal tins. Actually, there's one right there. Ooh. I don't know if you can see that very good, but that metal tin right there goes to anyone who's working not at a table. So at my tables, I have blue plastic tubs, nothing fancy. But if you're going to work on the floor, or if you're going to work on those couches over here or on the bean bags, then you get like a metal tin from Target, and it has everything that you need in it. It has your crayons, it has your pencil, it has scissors, glue stick, anything you need. Guys around. Woo. Hi, welcome. And ask me any questions that you have now that you've kind of seen my room and everything that I have going on. So do you guys have any questions about anything else? I know I've answered a few, but let me know if you have any questions about what's going on in my classroom. And if you think that if you think that any of your followers would enjoy this, share it, because this is a huge upcoming new idea in education. I really feel like a ton of teachers could benefit from this idea of totally changing their classrooms. So, camping chairs. I do not have camping chairs in my classroom. I thought about it last year, but they were kind of expensive at Walmart. And then when I was writing my Donors Choose grant, I kind of forgot about them. But that is not a bad idea. You could definitely get them. Or like there's those beach chairs that I've seen. The beach chairs at Walmart, I think they're like $5. They're like for toddlers. Okay, so dialogue on Donors Choose. I am all about it. If you have any questions, ask me. I got my classroom funded by Donors Choose, so I do know a little bit about it. I have gotten 2 projects this year funded. Okay, just have to bring desks back for testing. So I teach kindergarten, so I don't have to bring desks back, but the upper grades classrooms, they left some desks in their rooms in my school, and then they brought tables like lower to the floor, and then they're just gonna bring the chairs back for testing. Guys, copy and paste your questions. I'm sorry if I missed some. Okay, I did a Donors Choose last year and got nothing. I was very disappointed. Okay, so the huge thing about Donors Choose is you really have to push it, and you really have to convince the students and get them invested in your project. You can't just like go at Donors Choose by yourself and alone. You really have to use your social media. You need to email your classroom parents, because you're not asking for the parents to donate money necessarily, but you are asking for them to share it with their family and their bigger audience. Okay, how did you present Donors Choose to admin? Some are hesitant to use it. My administrator said, go for it. If you think that's what's best for kids, do it. Do I let kids work on their bellies? Yes, I absolutely do. A lot of our work, honestly, is done from the floor and a clipboard. I've got like 20 clipboards in my classroom. Okay, I think a lot of crowdfunding happens August through September. Yeah, so maybe launch one over the summer. Any suggestions for links about research behind the benefits? Okay. Suggestions for links. I don't have like specific research articles, but I do know that Kayla Delzer's principal at her school wrote an article from the admin's perspective. So if you Google, I'm going to look it up right now. Kayla Delzer's admin. I think it's on their school blog website. I'm terrible at Googling, guys. I'm terrible. But her administrator wrote an article from his perspective, and it was really, really a great read. But I gotta look it up. I don't know what the website was off the top of my head. Okay. You can find that article on Edutopia, and the one I was showing you guys earlier is on EdSurge, but I'm talking about the one that her admin wrote. Oh, sorry guys, copy and paste those questions. I'm so sorry, I missed like 3 right there. Sorry. If you guys want, just copy and paste them. I'm so sorry. I was looking for, okay. What about trying? Okay, you can try GoFundMe. I initially tried GoFundMe, but it's actually not okay with my county. So the county that I work in, they kind of want to know what's going on and what's coming in and out of schools. So with Donors Choose, it's not just like a lump sum given to a teacher, it is the actual materials. So with Donors Choose, it's a little bit different. It kind of all depends on what your school district believes in and what your school district, like what the rules are. Okay, that's what I'm going to Google. Principal's perspective on flexible seating. Sorry, guys. Oh, I didn't know that was an EdSurge article. I really thought it was a, you guys rock. You guys rock. I'm going to show it right now. Okay. So I'm going to, thank you, Ashley. Thank you. That was awesome. Okay. So I'm going to, this is, if you guys turn your cameras, horizontal landscape, then you will be able to see this also. Okay, so this is his perspective on flexible seating. It's an absolutely amazing article, and it does talk about the research too. It talks about the research and the importance in flexible seating. So it kind of shows you like old school classrooms, and some schools really do still look like that. And then this is Kayla's classroom, Top Dog Teaching. So go check out her blog, for real, it's amazing. If you want, take a screenshot. I'll stop scrolling that screen and you can go to that website if you missed it in the comments. Thank you for all those blue hearts. Do you need to get down traditional classroom management? I've been teaching for 4 years and I kind of got classroom management down underneath my belt and I felt really comfortable with it. And this year I waited until November when my project was funded to start flexible seating. But here's the deal. If you introduce one new piece of seating every few days, or one piece of new seating a week, then it won't be overwhelming and it won't get out of control in your classroom. And again, remember, you are always the one that's in control of what's going on in your classroom. If it's total chaos and wild, take that seating away and work on earning one piece at a time, because you don't want your classroom management to totally fall apart. I've been thinking about that, how I'm going to make it work at the beginning of the year next year. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put some of the pieces of flexible seating out into storage only for a little bit of time so that I can get my basic classroom management under control, especially because I've got a student teacher coming in the fall, and I need to make sure that we've got it under control before I start rolling out all of that flexible seating, because that's a lot, and that took us a few weeks to honestly get up our stamina to be able to control ourselves in, because the bouncy bands on there. So that first Bitly link is my Amazon wish list, and it has everything from my classroom plus some more stuff that I want to get next year. Okay, so I'm going to take one more question because I am totally talking for way too long. I'm going to take one more question, and give me some hearts if you guys want to talk about this again. I feel like there are some good conversation going on about flexible seating. Thank you, Cheryl. I'm so glad that you're in here. I'm so glad you guys are all in here. Anyone have one last question? One last question. Okay, so maybe we'll talk about it again, and I'll be able to show some more research behind flexible seating. So next week I will talk about it again. Josan, great. That sounds like a great idea. Okay, so you begin with no flexible seating. Okay, so initially I started my school year with like tables, kindergarten height, and then regular chairs. And, ooh, that's a good question about parents. So in regular chairs, and then I would take out a few chairs at a time and introduce a new height table or a new like exercise balls at a table. So just a little bit at a time. Don't do like a whole classroom transformation in a night, because your kids will go wild the next day during morning work and there won't be any rules. So that will make you go absolutely insane and be like, what in the world was Katie talking about? She does not know what she's talking about flexible seating. I promise you I do. But you have to go only a little bit at a time. A little bit at a time. Okay, so introduction to parents. So, okay, this is my last question, I swear. I could talk about this forever. Sorry. Introduction to parents. I have done a few brand new kindergarten parent tours, and we actually just had kindergarten orientation this past week, and I showed some upcoming, like incoming kindergarten parents my classroom, and they were like, oh my goodness, this is awesome. They were really excited for their kids to like learn in a different type of environment. And then they were like, lady, you're crazy, because how do you handle 25 little 5 and 6 year olds and all of this furniture? The thing is, you've got to have management. You've got to have rules. You've got to hold your kids to those high expectations every single time. So if they're being wild and crazy and you set up the rule, like, if you can't handle the exercise ball, then your option is the floor with a clipboard. Well, then you got to hold them to it. Every single time, you have to hold the kids to it. Doesn't matter if it's Jimmy or Johnny or Sally or Sam, you have to hold every single kid to those expectations. I made anchor charts and put them up on my wall so that we can have a conversation. Like, if you're falling out of the exercise ball, then we're going to go over to my anchor chart just about the exercise ball and talk about the 3 rules that we made for that exercise ball. So it's feet on the floor, you can bounce but you can't be out of control, and you have to be focused on your work. Those are the 3 rules pretty much for every single flexible seating option in my classroom. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do. I am going to do a little research, and I'm going to get you guys some articles next week. And next week I am going to Periscope about the research behind flexible seating. I know. I'm so glad that all of you guys were here today. I am so glad that you guys all caught me live, but I promise, so next week, I'm going to bring you guys some research behind flexible seating. So next Sunday, 7 o'clock, I will see you guys on the iTeach TV network. Thank you so much. I'm so glad you guys were all here, and we're going to talk the research behind flexible seating. I am in love with this topic right now. I am in love with this topic. So I'm so glad I can help you guys, and I will see you guys next Sunday at 7 o'clock on the iTeach TV network. Bye, guys. Have a wonderful week.